Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Hope everybody's doing well. And let's just jump right into this video. Today I'd like to talk about Robert Fuller. I'm sure everybody has heard about Robert Fuller at this point. He is the young African-American male. He's 24 years old. His body was found in Palmdale, California. And he was hanging from a tree. Yeah, if that sounds crazy to you, it's exactly what happened. He was found hanging from a tree in a park. Now, in this case, the police department ended up ruling the case as a suicide. But after this case had gained attention, because he's also not the only man that was found hanging from a tree. 50 miles away from where his body was found, another black man was also found hanging from a tree. Now, of course, we all know the implications of this actions of black people being hung from trees, roasted, killed, decapitated. It all ties back into slavery days, lynchings, and so forth. So this is a very disturbing things to see. And it's actually also quite an unbelievable thing for somebody that wants to commit suicide to go as far as going to a public square and hanging themselves from a tree. It's just, and not for it not to happen just once, but to happen to two different people who are just a little bit miles apart. It's a little bit surreal and hard to believe. Now, I'm not saying that this is not what happened and that this was not suicide. At this point, we don't know one way or the other. However, the police department's actions of ruling a suicide without really doing much investigation is not satisfactory. First of all, it's not satisfactory to his family, to that community, or to the people who love him or care about him. In order for you to tell the family members that he committed suicide, you're going to have to do some investigation and just be sure that this person actually did commit suicide, especially with this kind of action of him being hung from a tree. So a lot of attention was brought to this case, and a lot of community activists, also some legislators did ask for an investigation, a further investigation, to figure out what exactly happened, especially with the other man, which I'm not going to get into in this video. I'll make a separate video on that death being so close by. And the area where his body was found, it's not an area that is known for great relations between races. That area is Palmdale and much of the area around it. It was largely a white community, and then in the recent years has ended up being more racially diverse. So, like, more black people live there, Hispanics, Asians. So it's no longer just an all white area. And the place becoming more diverse was not taken in a good way by the majority white residents there. In fact, there has been quite many reports of neo-Nazi groups being present in that area. And there have been a lot of reporting of discrimination when it comes to housing. And, which is the biggest part of this, there has been a lot of complaints of the policing practices there and ties of the police department, allegedly police ties to white supremacist groups. It's also been alleged that the police department in that area seem to not act when residents are threatened by neo-Nazi or white supremacist groups in that area, and that in fact that there is ties with these groups into the police department. The residents there have been trying to bring attention to the situation for quite a long time. However, not much actions have been taken, and this latest incident with Robert Fuller being found hung from a tree, due to the ties with the white supremacy and the police, was taken as a sign for the residents, especially the black residents there, as a sign of intimidation for them. And a lot of the family members of Robert Fuller and the community members do not believe that this man committed suicide. They don't believe it. They believe that the police, due to the tensions, especially the tensions right now with the death of George Floyd, are trying to call it a suicide and just brush it under the rug to avoid, further tensions. So far we don't know one way or another. Honestly, there's really not one way or another. But I think what's important is that it is important for the police department to conduct a proper investigation. Now, if it is true and the allegations against the police department is correct as to them having racist police practices and having ties to neo-Nazis and white supremacists, then perhaps it is a good idea for the FBI to take over and actually investigate this case. Because if you already have bad race relations, then your investigation is going to be scrutinized one way or another. So it's best to have the FBI come in, do an independent investigation, and then that result then can be accepted by the people as not being biased. Well, I was looking at this case too. I was kind of just browsing different channels, different videos, and I saw on the channel, I believe it's called Nico House and the Convo Couch. They went into that area and they discovered some video you should go and check that channel out, check out the video in this case. They go into details of the area where he was found hung from that tree, the businesses surrounding it, and then videos showing that there was vehicles and movement during the time where he was reported to be, when his death occurred. I'm not going to say whether he was killed or not. We don't know that yet. But around that time. I think it's important for the FBI, if they do come in and take over the investigation, to be able to locate all these vehicles and the people that were present at the park during that time. It was, some of the footage shows people there at 10:30 to 11 o'clock and with cars coming in and out of that area. There is no businesses, according to them, that was actually open. So I'm not exactly sure if they were just walking home or just happened to be in the area. But it doesn't really matter. It's important for the FBI when investigating to go ahead and identify those cars, who those people were, interview them, and get a good picture of what was going on. And then, in fact, if there is a crime that was committed, to go ahead and bring those people to justice. That's everything that I have on this case so far. I really do hope that the family will get the answer that they deserve. And rest in peace to this young man. And if there's anything that becomes updated on the story, I will go ahead and make another video to update the story. Thank you so much for watching. Leave your comment and let me know what you think about this case. Do you feel like there's any foul play, or do you think that he did commit suicide? Now, based on all the information we have right now, I know there's not a lot to go on, but I'd like to hear what you guys' thoughts are. Also, what do you think about the manner of death? Thank you so much for watching again. Leave me a comment, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.